Hi, my name is Andre. I'm a case manager here at Coastline Behavioral Health. So here at Coastline, we saw a real need for clients to have a program designed for discharge, and it really made me think of, how can we get these guys ready for discharge properly? And after collaborating with Dave and Emerson and Logan, we came up with a BOSS. And BOSS stands for Budgets, Occupations, Scheduling, and Sobriety. There are four components that are needed in the early recovery, as far as getting a job, as far as resume building, um, uploading their resumes on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, and helping guys with mock interviews. We help them develop their personal goals and financial goals as well. So, far as we kind of go to order with with BOSS, but it all falls in line. So pretty much, once a guy develops a resume, then he uploads it on ZipRecruiter, then he applies for several jobs. After he applies for several jobs, we have him record the jobs that he applies for, and 2 to 3 days later, places a follow-up call. The follow-up call to the future employer is very important because it shows that the client is willing to work, and so he places a follow-up call. Once he places a follow-up call, we to find out if he has an interview set up or see if they read his resume, and then after they set up their interviews, they go on an interview. We give them a mock interviewing skills here. We do find out what their niche is, as far as work. A lot of guys have a problem with a Goodwill job, but Goodwill jobs, prepare you for better opportunities further down the line. So a guy may apply for McDonald's or apply for In-N-Out, and it's good because they learn skills of being on time, but also developing their self-worth. And after they develop their self-worth, and then they work on their budget, right? And as they work on their budget, they continue to build their schedule. And typically, most guys, we try to tell them to save as much as this, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000 while they're here in treatment. So then once they make the transition to OP, they're able to be financially self-supporting, and they have a budget that where they 60-40 or 70-30, to where they save 60 or 70% of their income and live off 30 or 40% of it. Then as far as scheduling, they have their program hours of IOP, which is 9 to 12, and then say they get a job from start times 1 to 4 or 1 to 9. They're able to balance their time out. One thing we like to discuss is self-care as well. And so that's where the scheduling comes in, and it's very important that they realize that they have time for programming, they have work, they have self-care. And then that's where sobriety comes in as well. They have enough time to go to their meetings throughout the week. And we realize that every client is different. So we try to meet them at different levels of where they're at in the terms of finding a job, building a budget, and setting their schedules, and then the sobriety. And I think it really helps here at Coastline because there aren't too many other programs set up the way our program is set up. And I think that it helps to improve long-term sobriety after here. So that's why we have guys that come through and are successful with our program, and they build their roles in society, getting back into society, and they're self-supporting, and they have their meetings, and they have their budgets, and that way they're able to move on to sober living after they're done here, and then along with that, integrate themselves back into life, because recovery is, here in programming recovery, this isn't the end all be all. This is just a stepping stone for them, and we feel that the clients will be greatly successful with the process, and it's very interesting to say the least. But I feel that every client here, we set up a plan for them to succeed after programming, and with this plan in place, that's where it develops into long-term sobriety. And I think from everything we have here, from Boss to Coastline into action, these programs help these guys understand their addiction, and understand that they will be back into the real world and will develop as much as possible. So it's pretty awesome to see. I really take I really like to help these clients succeed in developing their life skills and personal skills, in order to be self-supporting, and to help their program and develop into decent human beings, to where they can get back into life. That's very important, and it's also a great journey, because I myself had a rough road in early sobriety, and once things start coming together, and I got my schedule down, and I got my job, and then came sobriety as well. I balanced those three things. My life itself became fruitful, and I think that these guys have a really great chance of succeeding here at Coastline, and I'm grateful to be a part of an awesome team here at Coastline to develop these things with guys, and we're always looking for new ways and avenues to enhance our program and better our program, separate us from the rest, and I think that's awesome.